Hey everyone, Sonny's BBQ Pitmaster Shannon Snell here, and today we are doing a deep dish pulled pork pizza. So I get to combine two of my favorite things in the world, barbecue and pizza. But with that being said, I love doing everything from scratch. We're gonna form our dough before we actually put on our toppings. So to form our dough, I have some room temperature water right here, 1 cup. I'm just gonna pour right into this bowl. 1 tablespoon of active dry yeast. And for every tablespoon, you have to match the amount of sugar because that yeast needs something to be activated. So we're gonna pour some sugar right on top and just gonna mix it up. Make sure all that yeast gets incorporated with the sugar. If you can see right now, these bubbles are starting to form. That means the yeast is activated. We're gonna take 2 cups of all-purpose flour, go right into the bowl. And on top of that, we're gonna use 1 tablespoon of olive oil and a little bit of salt that we're gonna go in right here. All right, I like to use a spatula just to kind of incorporate everything first off before I start kneading the dough. You'll see that dough kind of start to come together, start to get kind of sticky. At that point in time, we're gonna put it onto our board here and we're gonna knead it. All right, got a little bit of extra flour right here. We're just gonna flour up our board. And there's really no amount that you can flour the board with. It's just that you want this dough to have a nice elastic consistency before you actually let it rest. All right, now you're just gonna kind of knead it up a little bit. Kneading is kind of like pulling the top forward and kind of pressing the dough into it, incorporating all that yeast and that water that you just formed. You want this dough to have that, like I said, that nice, smooth, elastic consistency. It just takes a little bit of time, 10, 15 minutes, maybe shorter, maybe a little bit longer, until it gets to that consistency that you really like. Now, as you can see here, it's starting to get less sticky. It's not sticking to my hands as much, that dough. It's starting to have that elastic consistency where you push it in and it springs right back out. This is exactly what you want. So from here, I'm gonna take my bowl, olive oil right here. I'll put about a tablespoon in there. You wanna make sure this is nice and oiled up because as this dough rises, it's gonna expand, it's gonna stick to the side of the bowl, and you wanna make sure that you have all the dough possible, every little piece of dough that you had off of this original ball as it rises. So I'm gonna plop that in there, toss that around in there. We're gonna go let it rise in a warm spot for probably about an hour. Should be enough time. So I'll be back, you guys stay tuned. Okay, so our dough's proofing is rising over there. So we're gonna start making our sauce. First thing you're gonna start off with is a medium onion. Just gonna chop this up. Pro tip, okay? Don't remove the root on the back of this, okay? When the onion sweats, that's what makes your eyes really kind of water and really starts to sting them. So leave that on. You can kind of take off just the outer skin. Take that off here. I'm just gonna make some cuts here. Now that root, get rid of it, all right, because it's sweating. That's that. We got 1 whole garlic here. We're gonna take these and we're gonna chop them up. Just mince them up pretty fine. In any great tomato sauce, garlic is a staple. If you don't have garlic in it, your Italian friends are not gonna like it very much. All right, it should be good enough. Time to get our sauce on the burner. All right, pan on. All right, you're gonna take 4 tablespoons of butter. Great base for any tomato sauce. We're gonna toss in our onion because we need to saute these onion in there. Now you're gonna saute them for probably roughly around maybe, I don't know, 5 minutes, just until they're kind of opaque, they softened up a little bit. Perfect. Now, garlic has the propensity to burn, so we're gonna add that second. Now, we're gonna kind of let this simmer, but while we're doing that, we got some fresh oregano right here that we're gonna chop up. It's okay to have a kind of a rough chop on them. They don't need to be completely fine. All right, we'll put our oregano right in. Starting to sizzle, starting to turn opaque a little bit. Smells absolutely ridiculously awesome. Okay, add your fire roasted tomatoes right here. And we're gonna add 1 tablespoon of sugar and 2 teaspoons of salt and mix that in. Now, one thing that kicks this thing up a notch, red wine. You probably need about 1/4 cup. And use red wine because it is classic Italian cooking. Stir that in. Now, the most important thing is you're gonna let this simmer for probably about 20, 25 minutes. Maybe longer, all right? You want the sauce to kind of thicken up. It's super important that you let this simmer because you need all those flavors to incorporate. You need the salt, the sugar, the oregano, everything that you put inside this pan to kind of marinate together. So I'm gonna go check on my dough. I'll be back in just a few. Let this simmer. Be back. Well, well, well. We got our dough. A pro tip is to keep a towel over top because you don't want anything landing on it. So you want to take a look at this now. Doubled in size. It really doubled in size. This is kind of what you want. Now, once again, we're gonna flour our surface. So you're just gonna kind of knead this dough a little bit more just to make sure that all your dough's incorporated and there's no pockets of air inside this. All right, perfect. The next step here is we're gonna take our cast iron skillet. This is a 13-inch cast iron skillet. You can use a smaller one, like you can cut this dough in half. It just needs to make sure that it fits this skillet perfectly. So you're gonna take a little bit of olive oil that you had earlier. 1 tablespoon should be good. You're gonna take your brush and just brush it along the edges and along the bottom of this cast iron skillet. This is gonna be touching some high heat, okay? Make sure you use some high point oil. Olive oil is great for this. You can use some canola oil. So now, you're gonna put your dough right here in the bottom. Okay, you're just gonna kind of press it out. And make sure you start to form the edges. This is the part about a deep dish pizza, is that you need to form the edges because you want it kind of like a pizza pie, right? Voila, time to build our pizza. So first thing we're gonna start off with, and this is the cool thing about doing a deep dish pizza, is you technically do everything in reverse. So I got some whole mozzarella right here. There's substitutes for this. You can do mozzarella in a bag. You can do slices of mozzarella cheese. This is my suggestion, but you can use variations of it. Don't cut them super thick because you're gonna want them to melt. All right, so we're gonna take this, our slices of cheese, and we're just gonna layer them across the bottom. You just wanna make sure you cover all the dough up. Okay, staying true to form, we're gonna go with our meat next, and we're gonna do our pulled pork. You can use varieties of meat. You can use pepperoni. I just decided to use pulled pork because I'm a crazy barbecue guy, and why not? Okay, last but not least, we're gonna take our sauce and we're just gonna spoon it on over top. Make sure you spread it out evenly. All right, this pizza is ready for the smoker, but here's a little bit of a pro tip. You wanna take a little bit of oil, olive oil right here, and just brush along the edges. You don't have to use oil at all, but I just think this adds a level of flavor that is unmatched. Perfect. All right, this is ready for the smoker. I'll meet you guys over there. All right, so I got my Traeger smoker right here. I got it set to 425 degrees. Great thing about a pellet smoker is it acts as an oven, but you can use whatever you have. If you have an oven, if you're indoors and you're doing it, that's great. Anything that just to create that 425 degree kind of oven effect will work. Pop this open. I'm gonna put our pizza in here. I'm gonna close it up. 20 to 25 minutes is all you need. Every smoker, every grill may be a little bit different. You want that nice golden brown edge on your pizza crust. Woo! Look at that. Let's go finish it off. Okay, this pizza looks phenomenal. But we do gotta finish it off. I'm gonna put some Parmesan cheese on top. Grate some of it right on top, because what's pizza without cheese and some more cheese and more cheese after that? Boom, there we go. Now, it's time to slice into it. Look at that right there. That's a piece of beauty. Now, you know I can't cook something without trying to like taste test it. So let's see how I did. I mean, I want to eat this whole thing right now. Damn, this is so good. Guys, really try this. I mean, making this stuff homemade from scratch is the way to go. All right, you can put different variations on top of it, but this came out phenomenal, tastes great, and it combined two of the best things that I love eating, barbecue and pizza. And that's it, our deep dish barbecue pulled pork pizza. I'm Sonny's Barbecue Pitmaster Shannon Snell. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and really in the comments section, tell us what you really liked about this recipe and what you want to see in the future. I'll see you guys next time. I'm gonna get back to eating this. Cheers.